Good afternoon. I'm Councilwoman Jane Bonner, and we're here at the Nature Center at Cedar Beach, and I'm with my friend Glenn Campbell, who's part of our task force, Brookhaven Advisory Disability Task Force.
And I'm here to show how accessible the Nature Center is for people with disabilities.
Why don't we go in, Glenn?
Sure.
And now we're here in the Mural Room, and I'm with Tom Carano from our Department of Environmental Protection. Tom, this is my friend Glenn Campbell.
Hi Glenn, welcome.
Thanks, Tom. Can you please show me the sensory sensitive devices that you have here?
Yeah, it's one of the things that we recently did, or in the last couple of years we did, is we thought about people coming in and enjoying the experience at the beach. They really sometimes don't appreciate what goes on out there. So we have these computer programs, and this one is right now on the beach. We have another one for intertidal marsh, and allows students to click on, learn something, and hear at the same time. So you can hear the herring gull and any of these birds. Each one of these different screens allows them to do a different thing. Here it's designing a shell. So they can draw and look at colors and use their fingers just as they would a pen or a pencil. Also, old school, let's go here. Here we have puzzles with different shapes that mimic the ecosystems that allow them to put them together and figure out how animals interrelate with one another. Also, throughout the building, you're going to see bits of old shells. You hear turtle shells, oyster shells, clam shells, and it gives them that sensory feeling. You know, sometimes you don't get to see everything when you go out on the beach. So we go out and we collect these individual pieces for people that can touch and feel what goes on here. So people of all types, of all capabilities can enjoy our nature center.
Great.
So why don't we go into the next room, and we'll show you some more things that we have.
All right, terrific.
All right, now we're in front of a beach display. So we have, even though some of this is fake, it gives you the texture of sand, the rocks that we find. We do throw little bits of shell, and of course we have some horseshoe crab shells out here, an oyster shell. Again, we can vary this all the time. We have our rubber lobster. We also have other critters that we can put down here. So again, students can touch and feel and get an idea before they go out on the beach, because again, they're not always going to find everything that we have in the building, so it gives them that opportunity to touch here and then go out there and see what they can hunt down, like do a scavenger hunt.
And see what would actually be out on the beach if they were able to find everything that's here in driftwood and stuff.
Like something like this, a skate 8 case is really rare. So when we find one, we bring it up here and we put it into. You were going to tell me something, ask me something.
No, I noticed that the tags you have on the shells here. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, horseshoe crabs are a regulated animal. Unfortunately, in today's world, many people use them, many fishermen use them for bait. So in order to monitor the species, the population, there is a tagging program that takes place. Now the tagging program can only be done in the full moon in May and June when the horseshoe crabs come close to shore in order to spawn. So a little hole is put into the shell, it doesn't hurt them, and the tag is attached, and if someone catches the shell later on or catches the horseshoe crab later on, they can let the DEC know, the state know, where the animal was found.
Great.
Great question, Glenn.
Why don't we now walk to the submarine room, or go over to the submarine room and show you other sensory things that we have.
Great, let's go.
And here we are in the Submarine Room. Tom, why don't you give us a little explanation about what exhibits are in this room?
Well, the idea here was to allow children to experience what it would be if you were looking at the life underwater, right? We can't see what's out there in Long Island Sound. We can't see in Mount Sinai Harbor, but we can mimic that on the computer screen. So we allows the students to pick up things, they can tap on it, find out what it is. They can also make the submarine go up and down.
Ooh.
And pick out what they want to know, capture it just by tapping on it. So it gives them an experience of, you know, when we go sailing with the children, that sometimes we get things, sometimes we don't. But here they can always see everything that's swimming in the water, get a panoramic view, make the submarine move left or right, up or down.
And the habitat that's in the Long
And
Island
the
Sound.
habitat, right. And again,
mussel.
take a look at something that's alive, see a smooth dogfish. Everybody always wants to see a great white shark. Unfortunately, the best we can do is a smooth dogfish or a sand shark. So it just, again, it's something else to do. They can listen to the tug moving or the ferry moving, foghorns. It's a sensory visual hearing.
And audio.
Right.
Great.
That's terrific.
So why don't we go take a look at our live displays at this point?
Great, let's go.
And here we are in the Aquarium Room. Tom, why don't you explain to us some of these exhibits?
Sure, I'll be glad to. Each one of the tanks has a different theme based upon the animals that are living in it. So this is our invertebrate tank. In this tank you're going to see crabs, shrimp. We have a hermit crab in this corner, a Chinese mitten crab, and one of those invasive species crabs here. There's some small shrimp. You notice the tanks don't have a lot in them,
No, I didn't
unfortunately.
notice that.
The weather this spring has not been conducive to us capturing a lot of animals. The water just hasn't warmed up. As a result, when we go sailing, there's not much out there. By the time in another couple of weeks with the staff, we'll have these tanks fully staffed.
Great.
In this tank, again, we're looking at different types of fish. I think we have not many again in here. Here, this is a cunner or a begall. It's a normal fish that we find among the rocks. We try to give the fish as natural a setting as we possibly can. And one thing I always want to stress is that many of the fish here are regulated species, so we have to have permits in order to hold on to them. And we bring them when they're relatively small, and we give them a good chance to get a head start. And of course, the tank at the end, this is our baby tank. So anything really small, to make sure it doesn't end up as food for everything else in the tanks, that goes in the very end. And you'll see we have a small blackfish, some pipefish in there. And those are the fish that they take a special type of food. It has to be much smaller. And so we keep them separated from all the other animals.
How big will the blackfish get and the pipefish?
Well, blackfish, as you know, are a regulated species, so they can be up to 10, 12, 14 pounds when they're fully grown. They are a good tasting fish.
Where do you actually capture the fish?
We go sailing in the back harbor. As the water warms up, the best time to go is, of course, at low tide. And we will go out there and pull a net between two people. It's about 15 feet long. And we'll drag along the bottom and pull it up, and we'll take out the species that we want. Not all the species are desirable to have. Some are very difficult to keep. And sometimes we have too many. We don't want to have too many of another species. So we're good here. Why don't we just go outside and show you the touch tanks?
Great, let's go. Not just for everybody with disabilities, but people of all ages and needs and so forth, elderly and
Think of moms with
strollers and
strollers,
stuff,
right?
and,
People that don't have the strongest legs, people that don't like to do a lot of steps.
and it gives them more opportunity to learn about the beach and the environment and just enjoy the outdoors.
This is a really great thing that we have down here. So Glenn, here we are at the accessible table that Eagle Scout Tyler Rouse built last year for his Eagle Scout project. What do you think?
Yeah, it's great that the Boy Scouts think about the community in this way to make the town more accessible for people with disabilities, such as this accessible picnic bench. So, anyone with a disability wheelchair, or even some with mom with strollers or whatever, just can come and enjoy the outdoors and the scenery and the water, and just the nature in general.
And it looks like it's a perfect fit for you.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes, for me, my family, anyone.
Awesome. So we plan to see you down here having a nice picnic lunch soon.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Okay, great. And here we are at the touch tank.
Tom, what do you have there?
Well, this is a horseshoe crab, and horseshoe crabs are relatively unique animals because, let's face it, throughout the entire world, there's only 3 species of horseshoe crab that are left alive. They've been around for 400 million years. In actuality, they predate the dinosaurs. This is a little boy horseshoe crab. We always like to joke with the children, how can I tell the difference between a male and a female? Is if I take a look at the little boy, it looks like he's wearing boxing gloves. Where a little girl will have pinchers. And we always tell them that little boys like to fight and little girls like to pinch.
What does it feel like?
He's relatively soft. It's funny because their mouth and their claws are at the bottom, and you really just feel nothing. It's nothing to really. They're
Unless
smooth
you
on
step
top,
on it
right?
in the water.
Well, everybody always says that. Oh, what happens if they walk around with their tails up? You're going to get spiked. They never walk around with their tails up. They always want their tails against the bottom. You'll see even with this guy, as I'm holding him above, he's trying to put that tail down or trying to find the sediment so he can flip himself over. They're extremely prehistoric. They have 2 sets of compound eyes, much like the eyes of an insect, and see multiple views. They also have many eye spots that can detect light and dark. I've read somewhere that horseshoe crabs can have up to 8 eyes. Their blood is very unique. It's blue, so it's based upon copper, where ours is red and based upon iron. And the interesting thing, many of us owe our lives to horseshoe crabs because many of the drugs that we take are tested with the blood of horseshoe crabs. Their blood is really good at detecting bacteria. It clumps up when bacteria are present. So there are places in the Chesapeake that will actually capture horseshoe crabs, take their blood out, and then allow them to sit for a while and then return them back to the water.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's great that you also have a beach accessible wheelchair here.
Yeah, we do. Cedar Beach is a great place. Why don't we take a walk?
Yeah, let's go take a walk behind the dunes, and we have some interpretive displays you can take a look at.
It's great that this even the walkway is accessible.
Yeah. This is a very popular attraction out here. People come just to walk around between the concrete walk from the parking lot and this walk here. There's lots of people here all of the time. So this is all the different vegetation that's in the dune. I always describe how poison ivy is Mother Nature's way of saying that children or people should not walk within the dune system.
Keep off the dunes.
That's right, because it's so important that these dunes survive. The beach grass actually allows them to keep growing and growing as the sand blows.
I noticed you have on the signs here. What
Yeah,
is
the
this?
signs are put out throughout the walkway, letting people know what they can see, what's in front of them. This one has to do let people know. You'll be surprised how many people don't know that that's Connecticut across the way. This is Long Island Sound. And it lets them know that what they're looking at, where New Haven is, where Milford is, about where Bridgeport is. Every now and then you can see the Port Jefferson Ferry come out of Port Jeff and go across. It's just a wonderful place to sit, reflect, take a look at, and let's face it, you get a really good view of the poison ivy in front of you.
But you can't beat the view of the Long Island Sound. Boy, are we blessed here on Long Island.
Absolutely gorgeous. And we have, after all the days of rain, this is a perfect day to be out here.
Beautiful day for a field trip.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go to one of our other spots that we can take a look at.
Tom, how long is this accessible?
It's about
walkway?
700 feet long, so it gives people, it's a nice long walk. It really is.
And there's all sorts of interpretive signs stationed throughout the whole walkway.
Wheelchairs.
We have a nice cut off the walkway down here with some benches and a bat house that an Eagle Scout made for an Eagle Scout project.
So they can sit here at night and watch the bats.
Yep. Bats eat the mosquitoes, which is a good thing.
Good thing, right?
They do a good thing.
So you want to attract bats so you can have them eat the insects that are around.
And we So here we are at another great spot with another interpretive sign about American beach grass. We have the Bat House over here, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Glenn for coming and taking a tour of the Nature Center with us and giving us some tips and advice on making things a little bit better. And I want to thank Tom Carano from our Department of Environmental Protection, because Tom is really the go-to guy down in our environmental department. He's a true asset to the residents of Brookhaven.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chad, thank you so much. It's not only a wonderful place to visit with all the scenery and the view of the water and the sailboats and everything, but it's been a really nice experience to really walk through the walkthrough and show how accessible the Nature Center is now for people with disabilities. It's a great place to come. You can enjoy the walkway and the park benches and inside the center itself with the sensory devices, and so I encourage people to come down now and experience hands-on and just the visual aspects of the Nature Center and the beach.